Facebook is just getting started in terms of their ability to monetize their users. You know, you talk to 10, 11, 12-year-old kids, they don't even know what a TV network really is right now. People are tuning into YouTube, they're tuning into TV programmatically. Facebook is in a position with 2 trillion posts of information from users to be able to target any ad on television. Facebook hasn't even touched e-commerce yet. So there's so many individual places Facebook can go into to actually grow its amount of revenue per user that I think a little bit too much is being made on the growth of their actual user base right now.
Scott, what's your take in terms of where things are heading on ad sales overall for them and the balance they may have in the future between ads and subscriptions, particularly when you consider WhatsApp?
Oh, I think we're sort of all in violent agreement here. The platform has this supernova business. Instagram, I was at the World Cup last week, the final in Moscow, and 80,000 people, probably 20,000 hardcore soccer fans, and then the other 60,000 are arguably some of the masters of the universe or the most influential or wealthy people in the world. And I looked around and said, what brand or product or service is most present here? And it wasn't Coca-Cola, it wasn't Budweiser, it wasn't Adidas. It was Instagram. Literally every person under the age of 40 had their Instagram app up. And when you think about the targeting ability, you think about the decline of the advertising industrial complex and those dollars looking for a place to go. I mean, it's a supernova business model. I don't see it slowing down. And by the way, I am not a fan of Facebook. I think this was punishment for a series of half measures and weak leadership about some of the very real issues they face. And the market had some pent-up fury that they unleashed on last night on Facebook.
Scott, do you put yourself the World Cup final in the bracket of Masters of the Universe or a real soccer fan?
Soccer fan. A 10-year-old who plays goalie in Delray AC. I was there on one of those lifetime trips.
Back to the punishment you just mentioned from investors. Was it also a punishment from consumers, particularly when you look at the numbers in Europe and the slight flattening off of the user growth? And could that be extrapolated going forward? Or do you believe that the arguments we just heard from Rich Greenfield that already that was a one-quarter effect only because of the likes of GDPR?
Okay, so the company had the greatest loss in market capitalization in history because it was the 4th most valuable company and can lose that kind of value and still be up on the year. The user growth is slowing in Canada and the US on the core platform because everybody's on it. And you're going to start to see growth, or they're going to report growth off of WhatsApp, Instagram, and Instagram stories. But globally, they added, I think, 23 million users. So, oh no, they only added the population of Texas in the last 12 weeks. The user growth here is still staggering and may not have met expectations. But when I first saw the print here, I first saw the press release, I wasn't entirely sure the market wasn't going to take the stock up. They beat on the bottom line. They missed slightly on the top line and slightly in revenue growth.
It was really the conference call. I mean, that was what was most disappointing. Final word.
Well, I just think the biggest misconception about Facebook is that it's just a destination, when in reality, the future of Facebook is as a data layer. It almost doesn't matter how many people are actually coming to the platform on the front end. They have so much data that in 10 years from now, when Ford advertises, it's going to be able to advertise towards people that want an SUV who has their lease expiring in 30 days on television, not just targeting to an 18 to 49 demographic. And there's $70 billion in the US alone right now that's spent on television, and that is a piece of the pie that they've yet to get. So I just think the street really doesn't understand the business model of Facebook, puts too much into it as a media company. This is not Yahoo, right? This is not a company that's aggregating eyeballs to sell advertising to. They have more data than any company in history, which as Scott has pointed out a lot. I'm sorry?
More than Google?
I mean, arguably yes, because consumers are inputting information into Facebook every single day. I mean, Google is YouTube for user-generated content, but Facebook is Instagram, is WhatsApp, is Messenger, is the Facebook platform. So its power, I think, is unrivaled. And I think just like how the stock price dropped to 18 when they shifted from display to mobile, and you had people here on TV saying, oh, it's going down and down.
Now it's 91% mobile.
There you go. So I think this is that reincarnated again, and I think people are really going to regret not buying it at this point.